Yo,
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 140.
140, man. Like, what are we doing for 150?
I don't know.
That's pretty
That's
big.
that is a big one, man. 150? I don't know. It's only
Yeah,
10 weeks away.
it's
Maybe
crazy.
we'll have something juicy to talk about. Maybe we'll have like
P5.
some maybe we'll have some resurrected alpha or some immortal stuff. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe they'll give us some juice. Maybe we'll have a D3 expand. Oh, never mind. So that's a nice little shave you got going on there, sir.
Yeah, I wanted to prove a point. Like that,
Okay.
no one was like, "There's no way you and PChild made a baby. It would look like Justin Bieber." So I just wanted to show people, you know, I'm kind of a pretty boy when I, I shave my face. No, it was just bothering me, honestly. Like, I'm such a low maintenance kind of guy. Then I miss shaving, and then like I let my beard grow out, and then it's like the moment it's like, oh no, it looks like crap. I just shave my face again, and it's
Yeah.
like it's like a 2 month rotation. So I literally had to do nothing. But
It takes
too,
you 2
right?
months
Like,
to grow that thing.
well, I mean, when it's full and juicy, right?
Yeah. Mine
Um,
grows pretty quick, but yeah, it sucks, man.
yeah,
It's a process to trim the old beard up, man. Like
and to get
I'm
it
pretty
even, that's the big thing,
yeah.
right? Oh,
I'm pretty lazy with mine, honestly. Like I'll do it like every 2 weeks. And then, like right now it's about the 2 week mark and it's starting to look pretty rough. So I'll go trim it up. But it's the mess, man. Honestly, is the biggest part. Like, get the bathrooms destroyed. You got to sit there and clean the counter up. And my wife's
yeah.
on it. She's like, you missed a hair over there. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and then you
okay,
get like a hair in like a cup, and you didn't even, like, and then you're
yeah,
like
dude.
washing your mouth, and you're like, oh, there's a hair in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nasty.
been there.
It's not fun, man. But it looks good, dude. I think you should do it more often. You should just baby face it all the time.
Yeah, it shaves like 40 years off me. So now
40?
I look
Yeah,
20
you-
instead of 60.
yeah. True. You should do the old grandpa app again with
Without the beard.
without the beard.
It's probably definitely more believable with the beard. That still creeps me out. I still look at it
Yeah,
from time to time. I'm like, shit, that's my
that is
future,
pretty
man.
creepy. Listen, I
You
still
need
don't
to
think
do
that
one. What?
I should. I probably should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what app you use. What app are you
Then
using?
we could do like my boomer face with your boomer face, and then they could make a boomer kid from our
Oh
boomer
my god.
faces. Think
Right.
of the
Boomer
potential.
babies. There you go.
Yeah,
What
dude.
app did you use for it? What's the name of it?
I think I deleted it already. Face swap was the weird one. I don't know. Shit. Well, maybe I'll
Oh,
find
yeah.
out. Maybe
Yeah,
you can see
you'll have
app
to tell me.
history or something. Yeah.
You have to tell me what app you used that stole all your data so I can use it
Yeah.
too.
It's
Basically.
still mine too.
They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
steal your whole contact list
Right.
and all that stuff. I got an email. This is before we get into the gaming stuff. I'm gonna rant just a little bit. I got an email from like a lot of people have probably heard of like sites like Credit Karma and other things where you can like keep your credit stuff.
Are
So
you
I've used
promoting
Credit
right? Is
Karma.
hashtag
Yeah, no.
ad?
Well, it should be like Credit Karma. What's up? So like I use Credit Karma, right? And so I get an email from them, and they're like, "Yo, your passwords have been breached, and we found them on these lists or whatever." And I'm like, "That's cool." Like I have lists of crappy passwords that I use on sites, but they basically send me a list of like my crappy passwords that I use for like non-banking sites and stuff. And I'm like, "What the fuck? Like, where did these get leaked from?" And so I look at it, and it was like all these companies got data breached. That like
Hmm.
one was the Lucas forums for like Lucas games, like Star Wars shit.
Okay.
And so like I had made a forum account there for a Star Wars game I used to play. I think it was for the Old Republic, their MMO that they launched a while back or whatever. I don't remember. So like that was one of my crappy used passwords. So like they had stolen that one. They had stolen who else? Like it was just this list of like companies that you would think would be pretty secure and notify you if they had a data breach. And like I've never gotten an email from
Whoops.
any of these guys being like, "Hey, our data was breached." And there was another one. I mean, I should have brought this. I didn't plan on ranting on this, but one of them, they like got my name, address, phone number. Like I went and researched that breach, and like they had fucking everything. They got I mean, it was a crappy password, so I'm not worried about
Yeah.
that. But it's just like, dude, they could dox the shit out of me. You know what I mean?
Deal.
So thanks, hackers.
Yeah, dude.
So
It's whack.
It is super whack. All right, let's talk about gaming stuff.
Yeah, I guess if you want. I mean, I don't know more
Nothing
about
really
Credit Karma personally.
Credit Karma, what up? Shout out.
So yeah, last week's Twitter poll was, how long should a season in Diablo 2 Resurrected last? This was a big discussion topic on Diablo 2's Reddit last week. And there are a lot of people arguing that 3 months just wasn't long enough because, items were, quote, so rare. And of course, me and P made the argument immediately. It's like, well, I mean, it's open trade. So like how long could it really take at the end of the day to get? So yeah. And that'll be a whole interesting subject in and of itself, because it's like, well, I don't anticipate trade's going to change. They're not going to have like an auction house, so people are just going to be spamming chat channels all day. Can you imagine like launch chat channel trade?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, did you see? And we'll get into it a little bit later. But the Magic Legends chat channel, was it still being spammed?
Yeah.
When you were there? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. I left it instantly. I'm like, how do I leave this channel? Like, this is nutty, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like that, but worse.
Yeah.
If possible.
With
Is
items
it possible
in it,
to be worse? Yeah. So.
But yeah,
I don't know. We already had the results up.
Yeah, that
unfortunately,
kind of sucks. We can't see that anymore.
Yeah, it's not on. Actually, I can't read that. It's too small on my screen. But I don't have it up on my end because I didn't vote on it yet. So I'll go ahead and place my vote. I think personally 3 months is the meta. That's going to be my vote. What would you pick? Would you go with 3 months, less than 3, 4 months, or 6 or more?
I mean, I guess some of this depends on, like, what are we getting with a new season in Diablo 2 Resurrected? Is it just like a refresh?
It's just going to be a refresh, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
if it's just a refresh,
What are they doing now?
Yeah, I think it's just a refresh.
Are they rotating rune words in and out?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Are they making new ones? They're not making new ones.
No, absolutely not. Nothing new.
Like so
10 years.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
if it's just a reset, I would say 6 months or more. If they're gonna rotate rune words in and out, maybe, or I don't know what else they could do that wouldn't make people upset, then I would say 3.
Yeah,
3 months is a lot of playtime if things are gonna change.
Yeah, I think if it's like the path of least work, you go the D3 route, and it's like a portrait frame, a pet. You can't use pets in D2, but like, I don't know, like maybe you make your follower look different or something. I don't know.
Yeah. They could do cosmetics. They piss people off though,
Yeah, maybe. And if it's something like that, yeah, 3 months. If it's like literally just a refresh, I mean, I really could not care less.
I wouldn't play the league then. You know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a reason to play. And don't get me wrong, the refresh is a reason to play.
If you're into that race style,
Like, well, it doesn't even have to be the reset for Diablo 3 is fun for me. Like the power creep that you get the first day, resetting your character, starting over from scratch. The leveling process, not so much. I think once you hit 70 and you start to get your set put together, then that kind of feels good. Those couple hours. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna vote 3 months because I'm gonna assume they're gonna do something for a season.
Yeah. I'll vote 3 months as well. And that is what actually won, right? So 60% of the vote said 3 months. I think we're all pretty wired and programmed at this point to like the 3 months. 22% of the vote said 4 months. 12% said less than 3 months, and 6% said 6 months or more. So long seasons, dead last.
If they don't refresh anything with the season, it's just a reset. I could care less, honestly, though. Yeah. Really.
Agreed.
So it'll just be whenever I want to make a new character, then I'll just do it at that season reset point.
Yep. But and then the poll for next week, we'll tweet out right now. Where'd it go? Still getting used to this. Okay. What were you most excited for in the last iteration of the Diablo 3 patch notes? The teleport animation speed, the Rathma changes, the Firebird changes, or the God nerf?
Huh?
Post that in chat. You guys can vote.
Most excited for. We're gonna have to talk about that a little bit, but
sure.
We'll get into it.
It's the first thing up for today, right?
Okay, let's just talk about the changes, man.
Season 23. We finally got some dates. It's happening April 2nd. If you guys didn't know. And as always, we're going to say, because there's going to be some poor soul that's going to do it wrong, don't do your challenge rift the week of April 2nd, team. So when does it reset? It's Monday, right? You're the challenge rift guy.
It resets Monday at 4 p.m. Central. So it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast.
So 29th and after, do not touch.
Monday. Don't do your challenge rift. And I'll have a guide up on my YouTube channel. You can go check it out if you want to see all the stuff. I'll go in, clear the rift, show you the stuff, and then teleport out when I get to the Rift Guardian so I don't screw my season up. But that way you don't have to mess around when the season starts. They've been pretty easy lately. We've only had one season where it was like remotely challenging for newer players. I think they've done a pretty good job of picking pretty easy challenge lists. However, I think that dependent on how this goes, they could have a broken challenge rift for season start because the 4th cube slot is active in the challenge rifts for this season, and the rift buddy is also there. The rift is there for the challenge rifts too. So if they pick a challenge rift from the previous weeks or that week that had the 4th cube slot, that could make or break a build, and the rift buddy would definitely help you kill stuff. The rift buddies make a huge difference in the challenge rifts this season. I think they've made most of the challenge rifts super easy this season.
Gotcha.
So if Blizzard screws up and picks one that's reliant on that 4th cube slot and it loses a game-breaking piece, then it could maybe be impossible or very, very difficult. So we'll have to see what they end up doing with that. So I'm interested to see if they'll even think about that or if they're just going to let their robot pick whatever it picks because it feels that way, man.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah, right. It's like I wouldn't be surprised to see, we've changed the challenge rift this week. Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, so we get an announcement that it's April 2nd, which, for me and P is a little sad because we wanted to play the Outriders at least for like maybe a week.
That's super sad face, man. I can go over a million reasons, and I feel like a lot of them are kind of personal to me, and not everybody's going to apply. But it is Easter Sunday, and I think a lot of people celebrate.
Yeah, back-to-back holiday,
back-to-back holidays,
launches.
2 seasons in a row. They did Thanksgiving, which Easter Sunday is a little bit more global than Turkey Day in the United States. But man, that sucks. So at least it's not Saturday right after, right? But I'm not going to play on Sunday. At least during the daytime, I'm going to spend that with the family. And then for personal reasons, like this is the only Saturday I have commitments in like the last 6 months. I've had nothing to do any Saturday forever. And this specific Saturday, I have some family stuff that's planned. Probably because of Easter Sunday is why it was like, let's get together, as a, do stuff. So that's unfortunate, man. Friday night's good, I guess. And Outriders drops the day before, and you and I were planning on playing Outriders. It looks like it's a fun game, at least for a little while. I don't think it's going to be thousands of hours, but it's probably good for 30 to 50 to 100. I don't know,
I'll see. Yeah.
So I'm sad about the date. There's nothing we can do about it. I wish they wouldn't pick holidays, at least at minimum.
Yeah, for sure. And just that reset time, it's so like we have 2 days to test.
Yeah, we got 2 days. Like we still don't even know. I mean, I'm not gonna jump the gun too much, but like there are still maybe potential changes that are gonna happen before. Like we still don't even know. Like these notes came out, and people are sad, and now there could be more changes. And it's like, okay, so we're gonna get and we're gonna get into all that, but we could potentially not even realize what we're getting until the day the patch hits.
It'd be crazy, right?
Which is nuts. So the day the patch hits, we could end up getting new notes and then try to pump out any kind of YouTube content. And then I guess we're going to try to play Outriders if it launches on Wednesday at midnight, and then jump straight into the season. And it's like, it's just nutty. And like, listen, these are like these are streamer problems,
right?
But I still am upset about it, so.
Yeah, it is sad. At the end of the day, I'm still excited about a new Diablo 3 season, and
Yeah.
I'm hopeful beyond hope that this new Rathma setup is going to be super fun.
I'm a lot less excited about it than I was. So let's talk about it. Let's hit these patch notes up, and then I'm curious as to how your feelings are after reading these.
Sure. And it's, it's strictly based on reading because that's all we can do right now.
Right. Haven't been able to play it.
But right out of the gate, the first one that's up is the God nerf, right? So it got nerfed down to 2 from 5, right?
I think it was infinite before, wasn't it?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it originally did like I could totally be wrong, but I think it was unlimited.
I was reading the wrong part. I was reading the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Where is the ninth satchel, right?
Yeah.
3. Yeah, so it got nerfed. It was 5. No, it was 5 originally, I think, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think it was infinite originally, and then they nerfed it to 2.
The 5th tick, I don't know.
I think it was a percentage, like a chance. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. But it got nerfed. They've removed a lot of them. So
it got pushed to 3, and now it's gonna be 4. So it's not gonna be dead, and I think it'll actually still perform pretty darn well
on the first patch. Too.
It might have been, yeah.
I think they even have unnerfed it more since then.
Yeah.
So God DH is cool, but they finagled the damage numbers to kind of make up for the piercing things to like switch the power level and not make it scale as much with density or something and other creatures like the slow time or slow projectile affix. I forget the name of it. The little zone bubble that the champion has. Because those were just insane. Because basically the arrow would just go inside of the guy, and then it would just pierce infinitely. It was like it was just smashing him. So it basically fixes that issue. Because that was stronger than like a conduit pylon or anything else. If you could get one of those guys and drag some more stuff into him, he just blew it up. Missile dampening, yeah, thank you. So God DH is still going to be good. It's like it's still probably going to be one of the best sets in the game, if not the best set in the game. We'll have to see. I'm kind of going to rely on you a little bit to tell me how strong Bone Spear is going to be losing that 4th cube slot. I think it's going to take a pretty big hit, but it's still going to be super powerful though.
Yeah, it's going to be super strong. I think we tested on PTR and like we lost like 5 GRs worth of juice.
So Bone Spear might be stronger than God after this. I'm not really sure. I didn't test God personally, but I don't think this is going to kill it. So
yeah, and then something that you were actually advocating for quite a bit was adjusting the wizard teleport animation speed.
Can I get credit for this? I've been bitching about this a lot,
but it's still weird to me. Honestly, this change is weird. I'm going to tell you why. Because I don't like every class's ability to move should feel different. I don't want, when I get on a wizard, I don't want it to feel just like I'm blood rushing. I don't want to get on a wizard and feel like I'm, whatever the monk thing is. I can't think of it right. Dashing strike.
Yeah.
I feel like they should all feel different. And to me, I don't know, because I played so much wizard in the past that it didn't feel wrong to me. But, I get it.
It's slow. It's so much slower than the other ones. But they do feel different. So they just said that they adjusted the animation speed, so they probably sped it up. Dashing strike, I still think is going to feel the best. It's just instant. There's no delay. It's just there. I don't know how much they changed it, but this is super awesome for T16s in my opinion.
Yeah.
At worst, now maybe Mage can be competitive or keep up with God DH or Wave of Light or some of these other crazy, any of the Lance Necros or Singularity Mage Necros that moved so fast because it just couldn't keep up, man. And like if you played with a good God DH or a good Necro or a good Monk and you're on Wizard, I don't care how good you are, you weren't keeping up if those players were good.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe this will make it more competitive, and that would make me want to main Firebirds this season even more. That's like, oh, good. They made the T6. Like I've read this first note, and I'm like, yes, hell yeah, I'm excited. Seems good. So
yeah, and then Land of the Dead Invigoration now removes all resource cost protection.
And what this means? So like I went and looked at Invigorate, and it says that it removes the essence cost, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Devour doesn't have an essence cost anyways, and it was already free.
Right.
So is it going to say that it doesn't work on Devour anymore?
No. So the reason they did this was for Captain Crimson's. So
Okay.
if essence cost is removed, then you're invulnerable to damage because theoretically nothing costs anything. You know what I mean? So this just fixes that basically. So you can't. There's no more Invincible Lancer. There's no more Invincible.
So they removed the resource cost reduction and just made it free because
Mhm.
it would stack your toughness. Is that what you're saying?
Infinitely stack your tokens. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm renting, and this looks like a tooltip clarification is the way I took it. Because I'm sitting there and I actually logged on a Necro just to see the wording of the old one because I didn't know the word. I couldn't remember the wording, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay. The other one says that you can cast for free or something. And then I started looking, and I went and looked at like Devour, for example. I'm like, it doesn't have an essence cost anyways. So I don't, I'm not sure what they're trying to do with this.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. So they're nerfing. That's gonna hit toughness quite a bit for some of those Necro sets.
Well, I mean, no, but it does suck.
It's gonna break your Invincible Lancer build.
Yeah, it breaks Invincible Lancer, which was fun.
But
it was broken.
I don't think Invincible Lancer was broken though, because you could still die. You could still take enough damage to get killed. And so it was like, this makes this build feasible to a threshold. And then when you hit the threshold, like, it no longer works.
You're done, right?
You're done. Yeah. And so I honestly don't think that was broken. I mean, it didn't feel broken. It worked, and then it didn't work. Like, it was okay. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it was only a matter of time before this got abused. So, like, am I that upset that Invincible Lancer is dead? Not really. We can still run, like, Corpse Lancer for Torments. It's fine. But yeah, so that's why that got changed. And then, well, let's go into the Wrath first. Usually I save it for the best for last, but so your permit. This is weird because we talked about last week how I kind of liked how they made it minions still, because it was like, it made it a bit more big brain, and you could, like, have more minions out. So say something like a speed farm, you could have like the mages out, and you could do some like kind of big brain, like singularity ring with the the other stuff that helps you spawn more mages, and then you could have better mage uptime, and you're flying through the rift and things are getting hit, so you proc your Wrathman more. And they just kind of killed that, right? So it's permanent now, so that means only the revive minions and the command skeletons will buff your damage,
which is 17 minions total.
Yes,
correct. Okay. Now it does say minions in there, and I haven't played a lot with Necro and the what's the other big boy they can get?
The Golem.
The Golem, is he count as a minion or no? So that would be 18 with him then, maybe, because he's a permanent fixture too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe 18 people if you can squeeze it in.
Yeah, and so to touch on that, so each permanent active minion increases the Army of the Dead and Bone Spirit by 500%, up to 9,000 now. So it went from 17 minions to 18 minions.
It went from 17 to 18, and it went up 500% per minion. And I did the math on this. It was a total of an extra 8,500% damage, I think, if my math was right, if I'm remembering. It was a couple days ago. But so they reduced the cooldown too. So they reverted the cooldown, which used to be 1 second. It used to be 1 second per, and they took it to a quarter.
18. Yeah. So I want to make sure.
Yeah, no, well, it was the extra 8,500 added on to what it was before, is what I was saying. So, and then they unnerfed it by a quarter second. So, so it got 25% more damage uptime there, or damage there. And then the 500%. So, like, they buffed it a little bit, but
they because
but it's not really crazy. Like, they gave it a little bit of damage back, but then they took away the ability to use mages. But here's the thing, like, if you're gonna run this with what's the poison weapon?
Poison Scythe.
Poison Scythe. If you're running it and you're using the mages as a poison ability to stack the weapon, right? Wasn't that a thing? I can't remember if I was doing that.
No,
I played
you actually penalize yourself by running mages with the Scythe and the necklace, because they'll copy Scythe instead of mages.
No.
mage uptime.
Didn't. What's the weapon in the cube that gives you an extra stack every poison ability you use?
Nears.
Nears. Did we use it with Nears?
Yeah.
Maybe I was just testing.
But you could use any poison. It doesn't have to be mage.
Yeah.
The thing that's weird here to me, right, is that right there, the 8,500 to 9,000%. So they're expecting you to run to run Revive and to run Command Skeletons, which is 17.
Which is 17.
8,500. Yeah. And so now what? They're expecting us to run like the worthless golem? Or are the simulacrums somehow going to count?
I think they just tried to free up a skill slot. I think I have to imagine the design intent here was to free up a skill slot by not making us have to use mages. That I gotta believe that was
but then they've locked in a new skill slot because you have to run another mage.
Though. I don't think they probably realized that.
How did they not realize that?
Do you think
we freed you up to force you into another skill? I don't think that makes sense.
That they did it intentionally. I think it was probably an accident. They're probably like, oh, well, if we take mages off here and we don't even give them a choice, then they won't use mages, and then they can put on whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm worried about the toughness.
But they can't put on whatever. You have to put on another fucking minion.
Yeah, now you got to put on your golem, right? So I'm worried about the toughness of the set because honestly, man, I didn't test it very much without Rothma Shield because it was like super permanent broken and it was fun to play. Did you do a lot of testing without Rothma Shield just to see like, okay, what am I going to clear if I'm not invincible?
I immediately turned off Rothma Shield because...
What did you do? Like how did it feel? I should say.
I think like the original Army of the Dead, I think we went up to like 130. Version 2 was like, it was kind of unplayable. I don't know what else to say.
Version 2.
It was Bone Spirit set up and it just didn't work.
So I just feel like it's going to be super squishy and you're going to be like pulling your minions out and then going, oh shit, the whole time running around trying to stay alive. You know what I mean? While you're trying to cast Army of the Dead and not get absolutely chunked because you're super squish, you know?
Yeah, I gotta think that they're... I think that maybe the only part of this that could be brain, because none of these like golem runes are going to be really good for this build at all. Yeah, no. Like you don't need more corpses. So the only thing I think this works is if they want us to run Simulacrum, but they don't want to force us into Blood and Bone. Now we can use whatever rune we want. So we can get like Soul Sacrifice for the second cheat death. We could get Reservoir if we wanted to run Shadow Hook, or we get all three curses. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that the Simulacrum will count if we use the necklace because it makes him permanent with the Haunted Visions.
I don't think the Simulacrums were counted as pets though, were they?
That's the weird thing because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Like Enforcer, they get the damage mitigation from Enforcer, which is only affects minions, right?
Right.
It says your pets take less damage and they benefit from that, but they don't benefit from increased damage of your pets. So
yeah,
there's some confusion about, you know,
this is why we need PTRs, guys. This is why we need PTRs to find these bugs, to fix these bugs. You know what I mean? Or if they're there, maybe they're already thought of this stuff, man. I don't know. But
yeah, so I think that maybe the play here is going to be, I don't know. I should have like really theory crafted but after reading the notes, but yeah, it just seems weird. I think maybe like cooldown reduction and you're spamming your scythe to get more essence back, and you get more essence back because of Haunted Visions and the clones, and then that lets you spam more command skeletons because it is part of the new set, the command skeletons, and that gives you more cooldown reduction with Obsidian Ring and Zodiac, and then that lets you have more land Army of the Dead procs. I think that's maybe what they're going for here.
Yeah. It would be cool if they would have removed, what's the command skeletons cost? Is it 50 essence or something kind of crazy high?
I think originally it's 50. Yeah. And then you take it down to 35 and then even further.
What takes it to 35? Is it a rune?
It's the
passive
Commander that isn't dead. Take it down by 30%. Just quick maths. Oh God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so 35.
15.
And
Yeah.
then there's a rune on it that takes it down to
'Cause I just
25.
wonder. Yeah, I wonder with the amount you're gonna have to spam it if it's gonna be a big problem with essence. Is kind of where I'm going with this.
Well, that won't be a problem because like you'll probably be running a generator.
Yeah,
And you get so much essence per swing with Grim Scythe.
it's just nutty. Yeah,
With the
especially if you get the
Haunted Vision.
simulacrums
Yeah.
too. Don't the simulacrums? Yeah, they give you more too. Yeah, it'll. We'll see how it plays, man. I don't know. I'm not overly excited about it, but I'm not scared. This is one where it's like this could maybe be okay. Like I don't know how I feel because I know I played the original version and I didn't like the spamminess of it at first, but we did destroy. It was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't Firebirds, man. Like Firebirds was fun. Like I actually enjoyed it, you know. So I'm worried about tankiness. I'm worried about being super squishy and basically having this be a repeat of the wizard or the witch doctor. Was it the Helltooth Gargantuan or whatever Gargantuan build set where you basically just try to stay alive while your pets kill stuff? Because that felt so bad. That wasn't a fun play style. So I hope it doesn't end up being that, but maybe. So
yeah, I could see a push setup looking. I don't know. Well,
the Rothma shield nerf is just take the army of the dead off.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like that bothers me, and it shouldn't. Like it, I used it in my Z Necro builds a lot, and so I'm a little disappointed about that. But in all honesty, man, I don't care. I'm not going to Z Necro that much if going forward in Diablo's history. But it's just silly. Like, why are you breaking other builds for this? Just remove Army of the Dead, and then we're good to go.
Yeah. And then on top of this, they've changed Selena. So Army of the Dead deals 75 to 100% increased damage. So they brought the damage bonus back. Or double this bonus against the active target of command skeletons.
Okay.
So what do you see when you read that?
You're going to have to command skeletons all the time?
Yes. But this build kind of seems like it's going to play like towards density, right? And
it's only going to damage the one guy you're on. You're going to want to focus snipe the elites with the Army of the Dead.
Okay, you're getting there. Yeah. So did you ever play Corpse Lance? Like really, really push with Corpse Lance? Cold Lancer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So when an elite is in the middle of a giant pack of density, what is the likelihood that you're able to single out the target that you want?
You get extremely excited when your mouse cursor lands on the elite and you snipe them. Like those are the good ones, right?
Yeah.
But then there's many bad ones on Cold Lancer where you would not snipe the elite, but kill everything around them and then lose your convention cycle and die and then have to wait until the next cold cycle and you could get cooldowns back up. So you literally, I remember sitting dead in front of a boss or in front of elites, just sitting there like, oh, I'm just waiting for cooldowns because there's no reason to come back alive right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hope it doesn't play like that. It's definitely going to be snipe-ish. You're going to want to snipe the elites with your command skeletons. And then in order to Grim Scythe things, you're going to have to be close to something to get essence back. And then the toughness is what worries me. So this is kind of like the chain reaction of things.
Is pretty good though, to be fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is Bone Spirit Bone Spirit toughness. And I think for Necro, Bone Spirit toughness is insane.
Yeah, maybe it's not bad. I didn't play it that much. I just looked at it. I had the Rothma shield when I did it because I didn't play Necro hardly at all. I just slapped the build together just to see what it played like. But if the toughness is up there with Bone Spear, then it'll be okay. I guess you'll sit there and you'll tanky tank and smack stuff with command skeleton up and
sure. But then maybe you're meant to run the golem and the simulacrum doesn't count. And then you're going to have golem skin in the build, probably. Maybe. And then you're running a Grim Scythe, and so you're going to have dainties. That's 3 forms of mitigation that are pretty high.
Does Army of the Dead, not Army of the Dead, but command skeletons and all these things, do they stack Stricken too? All those pet swings, do they stack your Stricken?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay. You could stack Stricken crazy fast with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I just wonder if you could maybe get RGK builds out of this.
Maybe.
If you could stack Stricken fast enough to make it really, really ramp up. So
yeah,
I'm not super crazy disappointed with this. I'm not super crazy excited with this. I think I'm pretty in the middle. And I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
So what's your overall? How do you feel after reading these notes?
I am glad that they separated, right, the play style of
I agree with that.
Bone Spirit. I guess I'm kind of confused as to why they didn't buff the Bone Spirit side of this. Like, you know, if you wanted to have like the two different play styles, I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity. So now Bone Spirit's just like dead forever unless Triggerwool somehow touches it. I have no idea. Yeah. So
yeah, it seems like they definitely embraced the Army of the Dead.
Yeah, which is great. It was a better play. It was a better play style.
That's the better
fresh,
of the two, right? For sure. Yeah. Probably scared of RGKs with it would be my guess. I don't know, but yeah,
I still think it's not going to beat a Crusader. I don't think so. And then Firebird, right? So Firebird, we knew this was going to get nerfed. We just didn't know the degree, right?
Yeah. So this is so disappointing to me. I saw the last couple days of PTR, I saw content creators just absolutely blasting 150s, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw them blasting them, I knew that would get Blizzard's attention. I knew they would see it.
Yeah.
And I knew as soon as they saw it, they would overreact and over nerf it. And I even posted feedback to people that I was like, hey, I know this is powerful. I said this weeks ago. I said, I know this is powerful. Don't knee-jerk reaction over nerf this. Like, this is fun. If it's a little bit on the powerful side, it's okay because it's the new eye candy of the season. There always has to be a winner. It's okay. This is your winner of the season, right? And I said these things, and I said it on stream. I said it to everybody. And sure enough, though, man, they killed it, dude. They killed this set. They nerfed it so hard.
Yeah.
It sucks, man. I'm disappointed in this because there's a lot of reasons. I mean, we'll go into read the notes and see what they did, but this nerf is going to overshadow all the follower work, all the leaderboard changes, all the stuff that has happened. I think so many people were excited for Wizard, which has been in bottom of the barrel for a while, to finally get a fun play style, a new play style. Everybody's
bottom of the barrel for a while. Well, time out.
They've been at the bottom for a little bit.
They're also on top for like years.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, okay, Witch Doctor's been bottom longer than anything, but they haven't been top in the last year or two. You know, like it's been a while, right? And there's a lot of Wizard fans out there, man. I'm one of them. Yeah. So like this people were excited is my point. And
no, I get it because I'm with you. Like this is the best play style for Wizard maybe ever.
I agree, ever. I think so. Yeah, ever. I think this was probably one of the most fun play styles I've played in the game and there's so many reasons, man. You're not mindlessly mashing any buttons. You know, your buttons are being methodically pressed. You got big brain kind of moves where you're getting in, you're getting out, you're doing damage. There's different builds you can use. There are several different setups you can play. It was just crazy cool, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
even just seeing how we played it so differently, and I'm like min-maxing to be super squish, but like do high amounts of damage and get to the rift as fast as possible. And you're just like, I just want to chill and like go through this rift and tank everything.
And the crazy thing is like I was doing the same torment levels both ways. Like I did the super squish and I did the super tanky, and then like they felt different, but time-wise, they were like really competitive to each other. It just kind of depends on what rift level I got. And so it was cool, man. I was super excited for this, and they nerfed the 2-piece in half, over half. They nerfed the 4-piece in half, and they nerfed the 6-piece in half. it's like, dude, they gutted the damage from this.
Yeah.
And it just feels really bad, man. I I don't know why. I don't understand why they did this. I don't understand what numbers or metrics they look at or how they figure out how much damage to take in or to put back to a build. But whatever they look at, I'm not a number cruncher guy. I don't sit there and do the math to say like, oh, this is going to be 15 tiers. Like there's other guys that are way better at math than I am to figure that out. And they're saying it's 15-ish to 20 tiers. And to me, just looking at it, it's like, dude, you just cut the damage in half of this build, So if not more.
If they said it's 15 to 20 though, then like what, you can run 135s now, so that's pretty right. I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays. We'll have to see what the big guys can do with it. Obviously, it's a huge nerf. No one's arguing that.
And to say so the guys that were blasting the 150s too were also like 8,000 Paragon.
We'll see.
You know what I'm saying? So right. Like I'm not saying it won't be possible. I'm just saying they took a build that was fun and powerful, and it seems like they gutted it too hard, man.
The playstyle's there, which is great. It's just a matter of fine tuning at this point. And to follow that up, I see people posting already like we didn't know, guys. We're the new meta podcast. We know everything. There was a post. Filthy Rich came out and said we wanted to share that we're listening in on the feedback regarding Firebird's Finery set and investigating opportunities to update some of the changes / nerfs recently posted in the preview blog. We're hoping to get working on this soon, and we'll keep you updated in this thread and blog with any updates we can share with you all to keep you in the loop. Appreciate the patience, and we'll have more to share soon. So it does sound like the raging wizards.
So I have here's my thought, and I want to hear your opinions on this logic and see if you agree or disagree, and then you can give me your counter if you don't. The new sets are, and I'll call them new sets, but every season if we get new sets, those sets are kind of the shining icing on the cake of the patch, right? I think those sets should be the top sets of those classes. So for example, this Rothma set should be the best Necro set. The Firebird set should be the best Wizard set, in my opinion. And I think it's okay if those sets are a little even above other classes. I think it's okay if they're a little broken for the season that they got introduced. You want to entice people to play the new things. You want to give people a reason to come back. People have played all these other sets. People have played Bone Spear. They've played Whirlwind. They've played Fury Barb. They've played Mundanugos. They've played the God DH. You name the build that's already been there and been played before. So the new sets can be the thing. Let's make them powerful and have fun. And then the next season, we can dial them back. I'm not saying they should go in super broken, but I'm saying it's okay if they're slightly better than everything else.
I hear you.
Balance is already gone on this game. It's already gone.
Sure.
People are going to do 150s in 4-man in the first weekend of the season. It doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. Okay. I understand that, and I get the fun value. I think it's a slippery slope because you kind of walk that line between, okay, well, yeah, let's make it a little bit stronger than everything else, the season that comes out. And then it comes to the point where 90% of players are playing God DH because why play anything else? It's just better. And I think that sucks too, especially the very first season of a filtered leaderboard. And
well, I think that gives the option there to use the leaderboard even more because you're like, I'm not playing this stupid.
I would rather see them.
I don't even like it.
Obviously bring it in line with other sets so people have a choice and they don't feel like they're taking a massive.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be close. It just could be a little bit better. Just a little bit. I'm not saying like, okay, every other set's doing 130s and this does 150s. Like that's not close, right? If every set's doing 130s and this one's doing 133s, 134s, okay, it's not bad. Like that's okay. But if every set's doing 130s and this one's doing 127s, like come on, man, that's the new juice. Like you can't have the new thing be worse than the old thing. We've already played the old thing. Yeah,
I get it. I get what you're saying.
That's where I'm going.
I think a lot of community would agree, and
yeah.
But yeah,
It's such a fine line because ultimately, like, we're still doing the same things we've always done, and I've said this a million times. We're still running at the end of the day. We're still running greater rifts, normal rifts, and bounties. That's all we're doing. We're doing the same thing, just with different eye candy to get the job done. So I think these new sets would carry the season enjoyment for me a couple more weeks, but it's not like this new Firebird set's going to make me play the entire season. Being realistic, it won't. But it being underperforming or it being a little bit above the pack would make the difference of a couple weeks to me, probably.
Sure.
So
yeah, I mean, I think we've ground that into the ground. Yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see how it goes and how they react. And
the one change we didn't hit was the follower nerf to the poison bubble scoundrel thing. To me, this is so that scoundrel bubble wasn't noticeable in game. Like, I hope they changed that.
I think they did in one of the rounds of PT.
Did they? Because I couldn't even see it. I actually tried to see it, and it was so hard to see. But 2, you can't control when it goes down or where it goes down. So to me, this is kind of like I'm probably going to run the Enchantress a lot more now than even going with this. That seems like a really big nerf, man. You went from 5 to 10 to 2 to 4. Like, that's a huge loss there. So the Enchantress looks more enticing to me.
Still a
obviously it depends.
Buff, though, for those
if you can get the thing you need in the circle at the right time in the right spot. It's just a whole bunch of RNG. Where the Enchantresses are pretty much like, hey, would you like cooldown all the time? Yeah. Like, you can have it. Or would you like, this elemental damage bonus all the time?
I think for the super fishy, high-end players, like, this will be the play because you can get an Oculus on top of a cloud and like a pylon,
if your stars align, it's going to be stupid.
Yeah. And there's a lot of RNG and stars align with high-end pushing. So yeah. But for a lot of classes, maybe Necro will just 100% staple Enchantress no matter what. It's highly likely. So we'll have to see. And then let's see what else. Wait a second. So we got to talk about, what are we doing?
I don't know. What are we doing?
So season launches April 2nd.
Yeah.
We get on. What's happening?
Okay. Well, we'll backtrack a little bit. I think Fluff and I, provided it launches Wednesday at midnight, I think we're going to try to do Outriders launch at midnight. If that's a thing. So midnight Wednesday with the 31st. Is it 31? Yeah. Wednesday the 31st at midnight, we're going to do the Outriders launch. And then Friday for Diablo, I don't know, man. What do we? I want to play Wizard. If they unbreak the nerfs, if they make it better, I will probably go Wizard. If they don't, then are we gonna rat? God, are we gonna rat? That sounds horrible. But
yeah, but are we gonna rat anyways? Because wouldn't it still be better to
it might be better. I don't know if it'd be more fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It sucks that it's this weekend because I can't even smash out Saturday and Sunday I want to. It's just, this is 2 seasons in a row where they've done holiday weekends, and it's like, man, I'm not going to choose between my family or a season launch. It's not worth making family members mad at me.
Sure.
It's just not. So basically, we're gonna go until the sun comes up Friday or Saturday morning. Yeah, man, I'm down for whatever. I think rats would probably be the best if we're gonna Paragon farm.
Yeah.
But dude, that seems super lame to do it for the 5th season in a row. We try to mix it up. Was it last season or the season before?
Last season we tried to do spear.
We tried to do some bone spear stuff. It didn't. It worked okay, but it wasn't like rats. If we would have done rats, we would have done better.
Yeah.
So
for sure, that did not pan out.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the patch notes say too, though. If they don't, man, because we don't even know what Wizard's gonna feel like with the new teleport thing. The new Wizard could be super speedy and super crazy if they unchanged
season things. Of what would that be called?
I don't know.
Birds. You want to run some birds? This is all
Yeah.
just animals. They'll be the
Or just
speed
fly.
farm runs.
Yeah.
Birds or rats, man.
Birds or rats. We're gonna do some birds, man. I like it, dude. Yeah, we can maybe get some bird XP going. You know, double birds,
Double birds.
triple birds. I don't
Maybe a
know.
rat and a bird. You know.
Yeah, maybe.
And then some not so great news. We kind of touched on this a bit last week because we heard that a bunch of layoffs happened at Blizz.
Mm-hmm.
200 mil payout to the old Bobby at the same time, kind of. So yeah, it sucks that I don't know, man. Like this kind of stuff makes me feel like so inherently like sad that like this is the company that I give my money to. But at the same time, it's like, well, am I gonna stop? You know, like, am I not gonna play Diablo anymore? Because like this guy's garbage. Or
200 million and they fire 190 people. Like, I'm not saying that people who invest and make good decisions in companies shouldn't get paid, right? If you and I start a company and that company becomes $1 billion enterprise,
yeah,
should we be balling? Sure. But
I don't know. If us, right? If it's us, we're different because a little different, I think, because like, well, we could have $200 million, or we could like make a cool game. I don't know, like.
Yeah,
we would have like a threshold of like how much our money
how
is
much
worth,
do I need,
and then like everything else we would pump into like more games to fill our time and be addicted to, right? Like I would be like, okay, 200 million, let's throw that into D4, let's get more people on it, like, you know.
Yeah, let's figure. Well, I think it's different, man, because we would have a hand in it, though.
Right.
If we were co-owners of a company, we would fight about direction all the time, though.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, we need to do this in D4, and you'd be like, no,
Shut up,
I want to do this.
Right.
Yeah. How do we win this argument? Paper, rock, scissors. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta
straw poll.
You know,
yeah.
Straw poll it up. I would win if we straw polled.
Yeah.
I won them all, man.
I'd post it on the PoE Reddit and just blow up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It does suck, man. 200 mil is a lot of money, and I mean, they could have gave it everybody they laid off $1 million. You know? And he still would have had $1 million in his pocket. You know, so
it's sad, super sad, man.
It's crazy, dude. Is he buying islands with that money? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know, man. 200 mil. It's a year. You know, it's like it's just a bonus. It's like not even.
Right. It's not even the base salary. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude.
You know, and then while we're on the subject of money, you know, this has come up and been pretty controversial. Quinn, shock of shocks, he's involved in something controversial.
Yeah.
But he says, you know, big shout out to Ziz and the boys. Pity Path of Exile couldn't spare 0.00226% of their profit to host an event for free. Huge community effort to make a spectacle for all to enjoy, and 32% of the pool goes to the guys getting their game advertised for free. So basically, if you guys don't know, like these private servers to run like a private league is super, super duper expensive. Like $13K Ziz had to pay out.
Yeah.
Just for like the PoE server. And, you know, like Quinn's right. It advertises the game. It generates hype. And the fact that PoE doesn't like do anything in this department, it feels, I mean, I guess the Gauntlet, it's season 2 of the Gauntlet. It's just getting warmed up. But I don't know. It does feel sad, especially when PoE doesn't go out of their way to do like the competitions. Like they did the really cool thing when like Metamorph came out right after ExileCon, and there's like first person to kill Awakener. Like that was really cool, and I really, really enjoyed that one. But they don't do those like often enough.
Bex replied actually the link under it, the Path of Exile link under it. She replied to that right there, so you can see their official. It links to a Reddit of.
Oh my God! Why are you so bright?
So.
Yeah,
man.
So Beck says, with Zizern's events, we have put a fair amount of behind the scenes development resources into improving capacity for these events. This has resulted in the capacity being increased to 220,000 users. Ziz requested the increased member limit event fees to make that happen. Also, we didn't want to talk about this too early, but we're still looking at finer details of these plans. We're currently looking at Path of Exile partnership program One of the benefits. Oh, we were just talking about this. One of the benefits would be funding a private league. This is likely still a few months away, but key community organizers are aware. They're able to contact us at any time.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it is what it is. Like, Path of Exile is a company that needs to make money. I don't know how much money they make. Like we don't know how much it costs them to run the stuff it does, or how much profit they make on these leagues. Like, what if this last league wasn't very successful? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people love it and played it, but we don't know how many microtransactions they got and stuff on a free game. So, I think Quinn's just being Quinn, right? But at the same time, I do agree that it would be cool to have a little transparency and then be like, yeah, man, Ziz paid us 13 grand for these servers and it cost us 12 grand in like hosting fees. So we really didn't make any money on this. You know what I mean? Like, it was a thing, but
It's still like advertising. Like, you invest in advertising, like, so yeah.
Yeah. But maybe they made 13 grand. I don't know, maybe $500 in hosting fees, and they got to pocket the rest. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's cool. I like things that partner program that they're talking about, like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they can get some events going. So
we'll see. And then a game came out. Open beta for a game.
Yeah.
Just came out. We just played it for the first time today. It launched in open beta. A little mom and pop indie game called Magic Legends.
Magic Legends dropped.
Yeah.
We both had the exact same feeling, I think. All right, I'll start with this.
Okay, go for it.
I was excited for it. We talked about this on the podcast in previous episodes. I don't know how long ago. I was intrigued by the card system. I thought the card system would be could be a new take on ARPGs. I was super wrong. I played it. It's from a campaign story-wise area, it's pretty bad, and to the point where it's horribly bad. And I like campaigns a little bit. From a fighting mechanical standpoint, it feels bad to me in that you have these random card abilities. Like, so you make a deck just like you would in Magic, and you have 4 ability slots that are comprised of 12 cards, your 12 card deck. When you use a card, it randomly shuffles one of your 12 cards back into that ability slot. So let's say I'm going to throw generic skills in there. Let's say I have Fireball as my number 1 ability, and I have like Blizzard as my number 2 ability. If I cast Fireball and Blizzard, then those 2 skills could switch spots the next time around, and now Blizzard's number 1 and Fireball's number 2.
Yeah.
Why does that matter? Well, because you're constantly having to take your eyes from the center of the screen where the action's at onto your user interface to see what abilities you got, what slots they went on, and what button you need to press. And on top of that, you're like trying to memorize the pictures of the cards, which you will learn eventually. But as a brand new day 1 player, you're like, I don't know, what's this ability card again? Let's just press the button and find out. Combat felt ultra clunky and not organic at all. It wasn't fun. It wasn't like it wasn't like Lost Ark, for example. And I hate to always go back to Lost Ark, but man, I played Lost Ark for the first time and I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. This is so much fun. And I played Magic Legends for the first time and I was like 30 minutes in, like, this sucks. Like, I don't like this at all, So the voice acting was bad. This is a beta and they could still make changes to it, and I hope they do. So there could still be some redemption for this game. But my overall impressions are not very high at all. It was paid. Looks like there was some pay to win going on. It looks like there was bad combat, bad voice acting, bad campaign. Graphically, not my style, but appeasing. It was graphically okay. So I don't really know what's going to make me come back to this game.
Okay. So interesting take, right? So, for me, we're gonna grind into it a little bit, right? Like, I I do my due diligence. I like to be a professional of all the things ARPG, right? And so we're gonna play it out. I think that there could be some saving grace a little bit in this game, in the sense that the card system turns out to be kind of big brain. PChild touched on it a bit, where the cards kind of get shuffled into your skill, and it does feel weird in like an ARPG sense, because you're like, well, I hit one, and it's supposed to do that thing, and like you like program your memory so you can like look at the screen. Instead, you have to actually look at what pops up, and which is odd. But I think that that's not necessarily a really negative thing. It's just different. And again, once we get more cards and level up these cards, and you can do like dual class, I guess, at some point. I think they'll become a lot more interesting. But again, we'll have to see. And I plan on seeing personally. The 6 item slots is like, dang, you don't really get items that often. I think the text actually on the items themselves is like really weird so far. Like,
yeah, it reads very magic-y-ish.
It reads very weird, yeah.
Yeah, it's like super.
The graphics are very Torchlight, very cartoony. The animations don't look too bad. It is incredibly laggy for what it is, surprisingly.
So that was weird to me too. Like, so I have a beast of a gaming machine, and as soon as I fired it up, I set everything to ultra, right?
Sure.
And I had good frame rate, and it's beta, man. So like, that's cool. I'll let a lot of it slide. But there was definitely hitching, like your character's kind of popping around and like doing weird stuff. And yeah, it was like you click the OK button to do a thing, and it would like, is it gonna work? And then a couple seconds later, it would finally click through. So yeah, I'm with you. But that's beta woes, I think.
Yeah. And then to touch on some negatives I saw right out of the gate, it does seem like there's going to be some pay to win here. The thing that I absolutely cringe, nails on a chalkboard type stuff is, there's a battle pass, which is whatever. There's loot packs, which sucks. And currently that's the only way to unlock the last class is to buy loot packs, which is maybe one of the most cringe things I've seen in a while.
Well, you know what's even more weird about this is, like, I thought that people would go away from these loot packs, right? Because of the gambling aspect in kids. Fortnite just got sued and had this big settlement that they gave anybody that bought a loot pack like all this currency back and stuff, because it was a thing. So it surprises me to see them still going the loot pack route. Like, I that model just must be so phenomenal that these developers can't get away from it, or they're so close-minded that they won't just. Why don't they just sell? If they want to sell the class, just sell the class. Like, make it cost $10. Like Apex Legends does that straight up. They're like, want to play crypto? $10, you can have them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'm much more of a fan. I'm sure you are too. Like, I'd rather pay $10 to play a class than like pay $1 to have a chance at unlocking the class. I would never do that. Even if I got it first try, I wouldn't do it.
Right, because it's like, it could cost me $100 to get this guy. There's no way I'm gonna do that. And so I think Apex Legends has a very good pay system like PoE. Apex Legends has these characters, and I think it would kind of fit this model, right? They got the season pass, which every game now has a season pass. That's just going to be a thing, man. Diablo 4 is going to do it. I'm telling you guys. But it's the season pass is a model that's sticking around for a while. But Apex, on top of having the season pass, they let you earn a currency in the game to unlock characters. If you don't want to earn the currency because you earn it really slow, then you can just buy them. And that's fine, because you're not getting power, you're unlocking classes. This game's the same. Like, you could unlock the character classes with currency that you buy, or just earn them through other currencies, maybe. I don't know if that's a thing yet. I haven't really looked into it that much, but to me, I didn't have fun playing the game, man. I think that's ultimately what it came down to. It's like, I don't think the game's complete, utter garbage. I think that from a mechanical standpoint, it's an ARPG. Being able to spin the camera tripped me out a little bit. I kind of didn't spin it a lot, but every now and then, like, I think that their engine did a really bad job of removing obstacles that were in your field of view. So where it forced me to move the camera, where it's like a couple engine tweaks to make those things transparent and disappear would have been awesome. And then I just don't even have to mess with that. But So spinning the camera tripped me out. Gameplay wasn't necessarily game breaking new, even though they had this new card system. It wasn't like revolutionary to me like Lost Ark. Lost Ark felt revolutionary to me.
Sure.
This felt like a clunky ARPG, and then not having your abilities go back where where you're used to, like number one always does this. That's weird, man. It draws my attention away. So I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy the experience. I didn't necessarily hate it, but it was worse than Wilson. It was, to me, like this was not better than any other ARPG I've played. Like this was at Minecraft dungeon level for me. I didn't get to endgame, so we'll see if I'll grind more, and I'll probably if you're gonna beast it, then I'm gonna let you get to endgame and be like, yo, P, it gets good, you gotta do it. And then, if you come back and you're like, yeah, endgame is actually really good, then okay, then I'll do it. I'll grind it up. But if you come back and you're like, yeah, man, endgame sucks too, then good. Like, because I didn't enjoy it. I played it for 3 hours today, 3.5 hours today, or something like that. And after 30 minutes, I was ready to quit and never got better. So.
Yeah, I think that again, the card thing doesn't necessarily turn me off. I do like the idea of, like, so say it's Diablo 3 and you're playing your build and you're like, man, I'd really like to cast something else. I'd like to cast this thing and I just don't have enough skill slots. So I like it from that aspect. Like, you're gonna rotate through a whole bunch of different skills you have access to.
It's so RNG in your deck, though. I mean, yeah.
So yeah. And again, there could be some really big brain stuff to this, and we'll have to see how that plays out.
I agree. You could totally get RNG effed, and you could totally have RNG just land on your side and have some amazing moments. And so there could be some really cool things and some really bad things that would happen out of this, and big brain plays. I'm with you on that. I leveled up a card in this. I don't know if you've leveled a card yet.
Not yet, no.
It was so cringe. It was like, the card was like, when a minion dies for 30 seconds, you get a 2/2 minion that spawns from that dead minion.
Yeah.
And then the leveling the card made it from 30 seconds to 33 seconds.
Oh, so you played a Necro too?
Yeah, of course. God. It's the only class that looked good, like, honestly. Yeah. The green mana looked like maybe it's okay.
Yeah.
But like, nothing really looked that phenomenal out of the gates,
Agreed.
But yeah, it was like leveling up that card wasn't like it made it super awesome. It was like, oh sweet, I got 3 more seconds. Like on a 30-second thing that's a passive ability you don't notice anyways, So but yeah, man, some of the skills look really cool though. I give them that. Like there's like a fire animation thing that I got where it launched this big fire elemental beam circle thing, and that was cool looking. Some of the white magic user, he had like some kind of like angel ray from the sky that looked pretty cool. So
yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna keep digging and give it a good shot, right? So I tried Pagan, I tried Chaos Bane. Like, this is automatically better than those. Initial impressions of Wilson were better than this.
Yeah, I agree.
Minecraft, but definitely not. No, you're out there, dude.
I don't know, dude. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I just rate the game by my desire to want to play it. And when 30 minutes in, I'm already like, when can I stop playing this? Like, as if I played it enough. I don't want to cut the experiment too short. Like, let's say the game gets much better towards the end game, right? Then I don't want to be like, yo, this game is horrible, don't play it, when the end game's good. So I don't want to say that. I haven't played it to end game. I don't know. But I will say that my initial 3 hours of the game did not make me want to put another 3 hours into the game. So and it'll be interesting next Tuesday to come back and see how you did with it, because I'll let you, if you're gonna man it out anyways, I'm gonna let you check it out. And if you're like, yo, it gets good, then I'll do it, man. I'll struggle through 6 to 10 hours of garbage to get to a good end game.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see, because I leave Friday and I don't get back till Tuesday. So
yeah, but you're like Bachelor Fluff, man. You can totally 40 hours in 2 days, right?
True. I am God tier gamer Fluff. That's what I heard. Yep.
Yeah. Bachelor Fluff. That's what I heard. So, what else did we have? Is that the juice for the week?
Yeah, you had Monster?
Oh, yeah. Are you into these Monster Hunter games?
I've never to date played a Monster Hunter.
It's called Monster Hunter Rise. I only have played the last one that came out, which was called Worlds, I think. I think it was Worlds. It's on Switch initially. It's gonna come to other consoles and PC. Just like they ported the last one to other consoles and PC. I think the other one was PS4 release initially. So that bothers me because Switch isn't a very powerful console. And so I imagine this is going to play at like 30 FPS and maybe low textures and low resolution and things like that.
Yeah, it doesn't look
But
great.
it will be portable, you know. But the Monster Hunter series is a weird one, man. You either love it or hate it. And the general grind of the last one that I played was you went into these open worlds and you would target monsters and you would kill them and hopefully they drop the parts you need, and it was a loop, and then you would take the parts to craft gear to kill tougher monsters, to get their parts to craft gear to kill tougher monsters. And
literally guardian raids from Lost Ark.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of, but a little bit different, but yes. Mm-hmm. I think Lost Ark took their formula from these guys.
Probably,
yeah. So I don't know, man. It's interesting to me. I don't think I'm gonna fork the cash out to get it on Switch, though. I think I'd probably wait to A, see how the reviews go of it, if people like it, and then B, I'll wait for the PC port. You know?
Yeah.
But is something like this any interest in a game like this or no?
I mean, like, I don't know. I remember watching Breath of the Wild and being like, I mean, I'm not really interested in this. And then after the reviews came out, everyone's like, this is a game that changed my life forever. And it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll give it a shot. But
I don't think this is going to be Breath of the Wild game changing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's interesting though. Like it comes out Friday again, the same as I think it comes out this Friday. So a week before Outriders and stuff. So if you guys are playing it, drop some, if you play it Friday, then leave some comments on the YouTubes and let us know if you liked it or didn't like it or what. I'm interested. So
Word.
What about your Fluff hates? You got some hate for the week?
Oh man, so many. Where do I begin? I don't know if you saw my tweet recently. All right. I'm curious your opinion on this. I think this is a really, really interesting discussion.
Okay.
Okay, so I heard this therapeutic phrase the other day, right?
Okay.
That there's, quote, no hierarchy of pain. Pain is pain.
Okay. Okay.
Do
you want me to respond to that initially? Or
so,
no?
like, the argument there, to me, I'm immediately struck by, like, well, I mean, I don't think that you, like, maybe Starbucks is out of your favorite coffee and you've had a really bad day versus, like, someone's child was just snatched up by, like, a warlord in Africa or something like that. Like, I can't see that pain being similar, but, at the same time, you don't want to, like, marginalize someone else's pain.
Yeah, no, I mean, I disagree with that. Like, there's definitely tiers of pain. Like, you hit it right there saying, like, I had a bad day at work because the server died. That sucks. It's not near as much as, like, losing somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
a death in the family. Like, that pain, so I don't talk about it a lot. I still think about my mom's passing from 4 or 5 months ago every day. Like, every single day, multiple times a day. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And it's not like I'm, like, in the bathroom crying about it, but it's just there. It's like you constantly just go like, "Damn, dude, she's not here." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And but I don't think about a bad day I had at Starbucks like from 2 years ago. I don't still think about that. So I don't agree.
Yeah, maybe that what the example I'm giving, right? The whole, like, I'm bringing my opinion into the argument with, like, a whole Starbucks argument versus, like,
yeah, no,
a kid dying.
I get it,
but
yeah, that seems logical to me though too. I would say I don't know. I don't think that's a very good therapeutical message to give somebody. I'd be like, really?
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah. I wonder what the psychiatrist or psychologist that's saying that, if you were like, what about this scenario?
Yeah, man. I just keep saying, like, a lot of the people that I thoroughly enjoy on Twitter and like the, people that I know IRL are just like, just suffering, right? And it's just like, it sucks. And I hate, I'd say it time and time again, like on Twitch, like, just, you shouldn't, I don't want to say you shouldn't be on Twitch or you can't be on Twitch if you suffer, internally from like pain or anxiety or depression, but man, it's not a good place to me to be if that's something you struggle with.
Yeah, there's a
just the
lot
nature.
of takes on that too, right?
Sure.
Because I genuinely think of myself as a very tough individual, thick-skinned individual. I don't fake it. Like if something bothers me, I tell somebody like, "Yeah, man, I'm a little sad today or whatever." That's fine. I think everybody gets sad. Everybody has good days, bad days.
Totally.
But I think if you start looking for help and like your stream can influence that to a drastic means, I think you're setting yourself up in a bad spot because there's a lot of bad people on the internet.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And so they're going to take advantage of that situation. So if you're a person that's like, I'm having a bad day, stream, cheer me up. I don't know, man.
Yes.
Seems like it could be bad. I mean, they could cheer you up, maybe,
Yeah.
but they could also bring you down even lower.
Totally. And you
So
could see like, like, oh, I'm going to start streaming and then like maybe I suffer and then, people are like, hey, thank you so much for streaming because you brought me out of a bad place. Like that could feel great to a person like that. I mean, it still feels good even if you don't suffer, right? To know that you've helped someone. But yeah, just the flip side of that coin is, potentially dangerous. So,
yeah, I feel, man, like I have family members. I've had family members recently, like since the Corona stuff hit, that have showed up at my doorstep, uh, saying that they were thinking about committing suicide, and I was like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? And to me, that's not something I would consider because it's just not a. I'm just not in that spot, but I take it seriously, right? So I'm like, "Oh, okay, like let's talk about it and stuff." And so uh it's everybody's different, man. So like I can see that you can't marginalize other people's pain, right? But at the same time, um I think you can do a lot to control the environment you're in. Adam Sandler had a quote that I liked a lot, man, and I don't remember it word for word, but I remember the gist of it. Adam Sandler said that it's important that I surround myself with good people because I think in the context of his quote is he was saying that it's easy for him to fall into bad habits and bad things. So it was important for him to surround himself with good people. And I'm like, I agree with that, man. I think if you surround yourself with good people, it helps you. And if you surround yourself with bad people, it pulls you down. You know what I mean?
sure.
Um, and so I don't know.
I also
Like so
think
the
there's something therapeutic in a hierarchy of pain because like there's if you're that person that had a bad day and then you like you hear a story of the warlord took someone's kid and then like cut off their arm at the same time, right? Like
yeah, you're like,
you
oh
gotta
man.
think like, man, it could always be worse, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a weird to me. It's a weird statement, and but
I just hope I just hope like I don't know even where we're going with this conversation, but I hope that and just even thinking about the family situation that I had, that like if you're in a spot where you are having down times and you're not happy and this and that, just reach out to people, man.
totally
Like I'm so happy that the family member that I had reached out to me and just showed up. They just literally just showed up on my doorstep. And I'm like, I was asleep in bed and they knocked on the door and I was like, what's up? And they're like crying and shit. And I'm like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And I just gave them a hug. I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but come here, dude.
yeah,
And because there's people that care about everybody. You know what I
totally
mean? Like you
totally.
might think that they don't, so they do. So just reach out to people, man, if you're having a bad
Yeah,
time.
don't be proud. It's
But
okay to be vulnerable,
yeah,
kind of
man,
thing.
it was super. I'm super glad that they did that. So And I have my moments too. Like someday I'll show up on Fluff's doorstep crying. Be like,
Yeah,
hold me.
literally.
You know, Fluff would do
once
it
a week.
in a heartbeat.
I'm like, shut the fuck up. Let's go play a game.
It's like I might let you win today. Come on, let's go play.
And PChild loves. What's up? What's up, dude?
Man, I love. Hold on, let me pull my notes up because I forgot already. We got in that deep conversation. What do I love today? Oh, so have you ever played The Last of Us? I'm sure you haven't. Have you heard of The Last of Us?
No. I mean, I heard the name, but I really couldn't pinpoint like what kind of game or anything like that.
So The Last of Us is a story-based game. It's like I don't want to call it a horror game. It was definitely had some scary moments to it, but I wouldn't call it a horror game. It's on that borderline though of like a really good story / movie / scary and phenomenally recommended. It's like a great game. It's got all kinds of awards. Historically, people have ranked it super high in their hierarchy of games. They made Last of Us 2 recently. This is a PlayStation owned franchise, it's a PS exclusive. And Last of Us 2, I think, did really well. I haven't played it yet. I want to, but I haven't done it. And so HBO picked up they're making a HBO series, The Last of Us, and apparently it's going to follow the first game. The first season's going to follow the first game. And so, like, man, I'm excited for that. The story was so good in this game. And I'm excited. If you don't know about the game, you should play it if you like story-based things, or you should watch at least, watch some info on the TV show. But keep your eyes on it. I think the TV show is going to be big. I think it's going to be a big thing. And I also watched the Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, it's out.
It's out. The first episode.
Wow.
First episode dropped Friday. Thumbs up, dude. It was good. It was the highest premiere on Disney Plus. They said it broke all their records for anything. It was good, man. It was like when the episode ended, I was like, damn it. I got to wait for another week. Like it was one of those Game of Thrones. It wasn't as good as the Game of Thrones moments where you're like, oh no, not right now. Like, please keep going,
Yeah.
But it was definitely like, shit, man. I can't wait for the next episode.
Dope.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah.
That's my loves this week.
Easy
peasy. Let's hit up the Twitter questions. If you guys want to submit questions to the podcast, you can tweet them at Lord__Fluffy or at ThaPChild. You can join our Discords. We both have new meta sections in there. And the first question this week comes from Demonic Grizz. He says, if you won the lottery and could make any game you wanted, which of the major game companies would you hire to make the game? Blizzard, Riot, etc.
Smilegate.
Smilegate?
Yep.
Okay. That's a good choice, man. I didn't even go that route. I was going to go Vicarious Visions.
That's a good route too.
Yeah.
But like they kind of have a niche, right?
Yeah,
so
Smilegate does the remake. But no, well, Vicarious did Destiny content, and it was new Destiny content.
Okay.
The expansion they put out was better than vanilla. At the time, it was vanilla Destiny, and they put out the first expansion. The first expansion was better.
Has Vicarious ever made something fresh?
Their own game, their own IP? I don't know.
I think that they're like really good at diving into other people's shit.
Yeah, but it's your idea, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, how can we make a game better, right? Like, totally. Like, they're amazing.
I'd be like, look, this is my game. This is my idea. I want you guys to make the vision come true. Be like, boom, okay.
Yeah.
So Smilegate, though, man, I'm with you, dude. Smilegate's good, man. That's
good.
If you don't know, Smilegate makes Lost Ark. They're the makers of Lost Ark, and
like I would literally buy up their engineering team and be like, how did you guys do the smoothness? And obviously you're doing a ton of shit right. Let's just like make this more NA and like Diablo-esque maybe or whatever.
Their programmers, their actual developers and code writers are phenomenal. Their net code, like we were playing in VPNs across the world, like to Russian servers. It felt smoother than games that we play with servers that are like 10 miles from my house.
Right.
It felt so good. Combat was so good. I never had any bugs that I can think of or any, like the game was phenomenally coded. So I agree with you on that, dude. That's a good choice. Maester Magus says feelings on games listed as betas even after they've been released and charge money MTX or upfront for years? Is it reasonable for a game to charge money for the beta? Okay, I think this is topical because the Magic game came out and it's a beta. It's an open beta. Is this beta getting pulled down, or is this an actual like fake game release? Is this a paper release?
Everything carries over. I don't know if it's getting pulled down or not.
Okay. That's interesting that they're going to carry it over. That means that they're pretty. At that point, it's almost not even like a beta.
Yeah,
it feels like it's just a test.
Pre-release. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like a pre-release.
Yeah, I think all these verbiage terms are weird, right? In this day and age, like Fortnite stayed in pre-release for like years.
Yeah.
Like
the first game that I really remember doing this was it DayZ? Was DayZ the one that came out before PUBG?
Yeah,
I think it was DayZ, and DayZ came out and kind of was the first VR that I can remember. Like it was the first one I remember ever even seeing, and I'm like, what is this game, man? And it was beta. It was beta for years and years. So I don't know. I mean, if the game is in a playable state where it provides entertainment to people, then sure. I think developers have the right to earn money. I think it's like gamers are super entitled and they feel like they should get games for free and they shouldn't have to pay for people's intellectual property and their physical property and hard work and labor. Like these companies that make games, like this Magic game, they paid a lot of money for developers to live and eat and have families to code their game. And they should be able to make money off their game. I just don't agree with the way they're doing it, but
yeah,
they should be able to do it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, to me, these game companies can do whatever they want. And they can either reap the consequences of their monetization schemes or not.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever.
Chat just corrected me. It was H1Z1. That was the game I was thinking of. Yeah, I knew it had a Z in there. Yeah, H1Z1 was it. Yeah. I think it's good. I think if your game is good enough that they can drop a free beta and it's more of an advertisement. It's like, hey, this game's so good. Like, come play it. And then we know we got you. If we can get you to play the beta for free, we know we got you because the game's so good.
Yeah. But Mason's saying the point more, maybe some of the tone of the question was like, do they have the right to call it a beta?
Mm-hmm.
Is the other part. And it's like, those are really, like alpha, beta are really like, you know, as someone that comes from kind of the software industry, those are very loose terms. Like you could have something that's in beta that, you know, according to other standards feels like pre-alpha. It feels like pre-development. Like it can feel terrible. It just depends.
I think it's a cop out for them to not fix bugs in a timely manner. Yeah. I think it's a ploy to say like, oh, it's a beta, like live with that bug because we can't fix it or we're not gonna fix it for a long time or ever. Yeah. So but yeah, I mean, I think if you're paying money for a game, as long as you're not misled, if they're advertising the game as like, you know, if they're advertising it as beta, to me, that means like there's going to be bugs and they're not planning on fixing them in a timely manner. That's what I read as beta. You know, I'm like,
sure,
full of bugs, not gonna fix it. Cool. But I still want to play. So here's my money. So,
yeah.
Akona says on the last podcast, you guys talked about attributes and used PoE, D3, and D2 as examples. My question is, what do you think of Grim Dawn's attribute system compared to the games listed, and do you think it would have a place in D4? So I don't have a lot of experience with Grim Dawn, but I think Grim Dawn still has the 3 stats. They just renamed them. They weren't like strength, intelligence, dexterity, whatever, right? They have 3 stats. I can't remember the names of them. And those stats just gave you like one looked like it was a lot of defense. And,
physique, cunning, and spirit. I remember now.
Yeah. And so like physique gave you defense or something, like, and cunning was that stamina? I don't remember the details. It basically boiled down to kind of the same system. It's like these points give you defense, damage, or...
You know, I'd kind of forgotten that Grim Dawn even had a stat allocation system, because I don't think it's... I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's as impactful as like literally all the other crazy systems that they have. Like it was very unmemorable to me that Grim Dawn had stat allocation.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in that regard, it's fine. But I mean, I don't know. Grim Dawn has so much more to carry it than manual stat allocation.
So do I think it has a place in D4? It seems like it's just a renamed, reworded 3-tier system. I don't have a lot of Grim Dawn time, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about on it. But if I remember correctly, that's what I think I remember reading. I don't know. I don't think it reinvented the stat allocation system. I don't think it was, like Fluff was saying, if it's not super meaningful. I kind of still lean towards the PoE style. I still want my stats to come from my sphere grid. I want a big sphere grid like PoE in Diablo 4. I want that so bad. And I know it's not going to happen. Like, I just know it's not going to happen. But I do want a huge ass sphere where it's just like, this is nutty.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
not going to get any arguments from me there. Yeah. We actually agree on something?
No. I want a skill twig in D4. I want 4 choices.
My man. Now we're talking.
Let's convince me I'm wrong. Nephilim says, this is super off the gaming topic.
Okay.
Nephilim says, what would you guys do if you found out your wife girlfriend sent half nudes or nudes to other guys? Nephilim hangs out in my stream a lot. I'm sure he frequents your stream too. Listen, if this is serious, if you didn't know about it, that's a pretty big red flag, my man. Like, I'd probably be peacing out,
Yeah, it's tough because it's, I say slippery slope a lot, but it kind of is, right? Because it's like, well, okay, if you're lying to me about that, right? Like, where's the line in the sand? Like, what else? Even if you're like, let's work through this and like figure it out. Like, why would you want to send this to begin with? And blah blah blah. Yeah, it's tough because you don't really know. How far things went, or if she's telling the truth, or she's being honest.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it in the context that this was like selfies on a cell phone texted to somebody else. That's the context I'll take it in, or something. If it were like an OnlyFans and they were getting paid for this, that's a whole different can of worms. It's a completely different can of worms. But in the context of like, you picked her phone up and you saw she's having a conversation with some dude and sending him pictures, then she's clearly not happy or can't be happy with one person. So she needs something that you're not given, and you may not be able to, no matter. I'm not saying it's your fault, but I would be probably peacing out unless there was some really good reasoning not to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
at the end of the day, you need some time apart. Period.
Yeah. So if it's for OnlyFans, then I would be like, listen, what? Okay, like, this is something I should probably be aware of. And that just depends if you're cool with it or not. You know what I mean? Like,
I had a friend that his lady did that. And
yeah.
For the longest time, he was like, yeah, it doesn't bother me, blah, blah, blah.
And you watched her? Like, did you tell him that you watched her? Oh,
Bro,
don't lie to me, Fluff.
You don't understand. This chick, to date, I've never met someone and instantly like known that they were my Antichrist. Like, I
instantly
hated her from like the moment I laid eyes on her.
It didn't stop you from watching at least once.
I absolutely did not. That's
never. You never saw not even a glimpse.
This just makes me want to vomit. Dude.
I don't believe it. I don't. Curiosity killed the cat, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, curiosity. Yeah. That's the thing.
But she would always say, "It's just the flesh." And so, like, for the rest of my life, that's all I can.
She would say, "What?
It's just the flesh." It's
just
the flesh.
Okay. Yeah, no.
And of course, she like massively cheated on him and did terrible things. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not judging. Like, dude, listen, if you're okay with it and you want to make money doing that and that's your thing, like, people judge me for being a streamer.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I totally get it. And who am I to judge how you do it? I don't care. I don't have any problem with it. Now, from a personal standpoint, I don't think I'd be happy if my wife came to me and she's like, I want to start an OnlyFans. I'd kind of be like, why do you want to do it? And like, what's the reasoning? Like, I would be really hard to make logical sense to me as a married man to be like, we don't need the money for that. Like, so what's the motivation here? But if it's, but I'm not going to judge, do what you got to do. Because people judge me all the time when I'm like, what do you do? Like, oh, I'm a content creator. What's that mean? Oh, have you heard of Twitch? And it's usually no. And it's like, have you heard of YouTube? Well, of course. It's like, yeah, I make videos. And they're like, oh, and you can, and that's how you make your money. Like, it's always like, and that's how you make your money is like the follow up. Like, yeah. Okay.
Not really is the answer to that.
Well, yeah. Well, kind of.
Right.
I sell drugs on the. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, just kidding. Anon said nobody has really asked. ... What do you really want? That's so open. I don't even know.
What do we really want?
What do you want, Fluff? Is there something you really want?
World peace. A massive skill tree in Diablo 4.
What do I really want? Yeah. Okay. We'll take this. I'll take this as the little gift term first. Is there any gift that I want?
Okay.
Not really. I mean, I have most of the thing. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Is there a gift that you want? If somebody was like, "Here, Fluff, here's $1,000. Go buy yourself something." Would you have a thing that you're instantly like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy that now"?
No,
I don't think so either.
I think we're the type of people, if like we want something enough, we just like get it.
I'll find a way.
Yeah. It's pretty rare for me to like want a thing though. I don't know.
I still don't have a Stream Deck, but I don't necessarily want it. But like if somebody gave me one, I'd be
even
like,
then,
cool.
you made something else work to.
Yeah, I have a tablet
right,
that I turned into it.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it works fine. That's why I haven't bought one, because it gets the job done,
I wouldn't recommend
but it's like
buying one. But so I still would never recommend buying one, but yeah.
Yeah, and like that's kind of the only thing that I'd even be like, maybe if somebody was like, "Hey P, I really want to get you something," I'm like, I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, so let's think about it from a non-physical item gift. What do you really want?
What if it was what would you really love to get out of streaming and being a creator?
I think streaming is, it's like something that I really love to do. And so if I were able to provide for my family doing that, that is the ultimate end game goal, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something I love for a living. That's kind of the goal, right?
Sure.
Which is super cliche. It's like, can I do this thing I love to live? That's awesome. I don't care about the fame. Like I think some people enjoy the fame of it. And they're like, oh, I want to be I want to be ninja and everybody knows who I am and have my own shoe deals. Like, I don't care if I have my own shoe deal. Like, so.
Yeah. For me, it's fame. Obviously, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough, right? Like, obviously, that would be amazing to like. Oh, I'm just gonna stream full time. I don't know that that's necessarily a realistic goal unless something crazy were to happen. So like for me, it's about having some cards in the deck of the things that you're really passionate about. Like obviously, I'm super passionate about Diablo, so if I can be a voice at all, for the community and just having my hand in the pot of like making the game the best
I'm with
possible
you on that.
game. Yeah.
So like, it'd be a lie if we said that we didn't have connections, at least like ears, like people. Like, listen, the leaderboard thing. I honestly believe that was a new meta podcast feature that got added to Diablo 3, and Like I'm saying that and it sounds like really cocky and stupid, but I really believe it. I do think that us talking about leaderboards for the last 3 years and 140 episodes, I think it had some influence on that. And I think that that feels really cool, right? You know, like even if it's not true, at least I think it's true.
Sure.
So like that's cool, you know? And so maybe, you know, I think that's kind of where you're going. Like maybe for D4, if you know our voice is heard and we have some cards in the deck for some design decisions or direction they take, you know, that's super awesome, man. And I agree, that's a super cool thing.
Yeah.
So with you, man. The last question we have comes from Clint Disaster, and he says, "What is the best item on the Taco Bell menu?"
To me, it's real simple. The Dorito tacos. Like it's just easy, it's quick, cheap.
I don't eat Taco Bell hardly ever. I don't think I've had it in almost a year. But gosh, man, I like nachos. I always get nachos Belgrande when I go there. You know, that's the thing. I don't know if it's the best item. The 7-layer burrito is also a good choice, but
I used to be all about the Frito burrito in high school, man.
Yeah,
like,
they took that off the menu though, didn't they?
I'm sure.
I don't know if it's there. They had those dollar potato burritos. I don't even know what they put in those things. It wasn't like I don't think it was real food.
I don't think anything they have is real food.
But it's like it was so I felt, oh man, this is why I haven't eaten Taco Bell for a year. Taco Bell sounds delicious, and you go to Taco Bell and it smells delicious, and then you eat it and it's usually okay. But 10 minutes after you eat that Taco Bell, you feel like complete ass for the rest of the day. Like you feel so bad the whole rest. And it's like every time, man, I'm always like, oh, my stomach feels bloated. And I'm just like, oh, I just don't feel good. I feel horrible the whole rest of the day. So I stopped eating it.
Yeah.
Good. That's all we got, man. That's all the questions for the podcast.
Easy.
If you guys want to submit questions, hit us up on the Discords. Discord's really the best place. Twitter, also a really good place. You can DM us or reply to the thread I post before the podcast. And I'll catch you guys next week for episode 141.
141. Hopefully I don't have any broken bones or anything like that.
That's right. So you're leaving when?
Friday morning.
Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And you get back Sunday night, Monday?
Monday evening.
Monday? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I have at least, if I don't hear from you by Tuesday afternoon, I know that you managed to kill yourself on this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you hiking? You're paragliding? Like what's going on?
Just boarding, snowboarding.
Oh, snowboarding.
Some fresh powder, bro.
Okay.
I've gone 3 times
sunny.
and I mean, I fucking suck. There's no way to say that. I'm terrible. I always take one really bad fall.
I did it once.
Yeah.
Ever. Okay. So my wife can snowboard. Like she's been snowboarding lots of times. Like she's good. And when we first met, I was in shape. I was like, you know, boxing at the time. I thought I was like super rich. She's like, let's go snowboard. I'm like, all right, cool. There's a place in St. Louis, like, you know, outside outside of St. Louis that you can go. We go to this place and it's cold as hell, man. It was so cold. And we get the gear on and I've never done this. And so we start off on like the little kiddie hills and they have a rope you hold on to that pulls you up. I'm trying to show up, right? I'm trying to impress. I'm trying to like, you know, do this thing. And she's like, and I'm doing the little baby hills okay, right? Like I'm going down. But in all reality, I can't stop, Fluff. I don't know how to stop the damn snowboard. Like you're just going, right? You just go. But the baby hills don't matter. But to stop, you had to like turn sideways and like get on the edge of the board. Like, dude, I hadn't learned that skill yet. Okay. So we get up to the top. I let her talk me into going all the way up to the top of this big ass hill, right? And we get up this hill and she's like, all right, let's go. I'm like, okay. And we jump off the ski lift and we start going. And like, I'm going. And all of a sudden I realized, dude, I'm going really fast, like really, really fast. And I don't really know how to stop and panic starts to set in. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go back on my butt. And so I just fall and sit on my ass. And then I start sliding down the hill on my butt. And then like, you know how they have like lifeguards, so to say, like they like watching the towers. And this guy's just like, "Hey, get up," or something. Like, he yells at me to stand. And I'm like, I answer back. I go, "I fucking can't," or something, because I'm like in the middle of this hill. And it was embarrassing, dude. So I basically slid down this big ass hill on my butt the whole way. So
Nice.
but
Well
I
done.
had the biggest bruise on my butt. I probably broke my tailbone, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a softball sized knot in like purple, and it was a pretty bad time.
Yeah, the
I'm
first
done.
time
Like that was it.
I ever went, I broke my tailbone.
Yeah.
And because I got decked by like a little girl.
Yeah, I had a girl take me out too. And I just kind of like jumped and fell over her just because. It was the same thing. I was like, I'm gonna kill this little kid, and they're running right at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks. So have fun, man. I hope
Thanks.
I hope it's a good time. You
Me
know,
too.
make sure you got the GoPro.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. GoPro those falls, dude, and we'll laugh about them
Great.
next Tuesday.
Another
Sounds
one
great.
of the fall podcasts, huh?
Right.
Right.
40. It's like Boomer tries to snowboard, episode 1. You could put it on your travel blog. That'd be great.
True.
If you guys want to catch more of me, I'm at ThaPChild on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all the places. Come drop us the follows on the Twitters, and don't forget, we got the new polls going up on Twitter now. So if you follow us on the Twitters, you'll see the polls. You can vote. Do it up.
Yep. And I'm Lord _ Fluffy, double those underscores on the Twitter. We'll see you boys next week. Peace out.